Friends, in this video, we are dealing the very important concept of the control of DC drive. So in that particular control of DC drive that we are detailedly studied about how the DC drives are controlled by means of the open loop control and the closed loop control. We are taking some of the basic parameter in concern with the transfer function approach and the microprocessor control, the speed control methods of your DC drives. So let's start. Friends, in this video, we are detailedly study about the what are the different control techniques which are dealing with your DC drive. So first of all, we can understand what do you mean by the DC drive. The drive is the system employed for motion control, and if we are using electrical motors for the motion control, then it is called as the electrical drive. Okay. So friends, in day-to-day life, we are using there are different types of drives. So such drives are DC drives and AC drives. So friends, for the better speed regulation, we are preferring the DC type of drive for the industrial use. So in this video, we are studying about how we can control of that particular DC drive. So basically, there are two techniques for the controlling of the DC drive. First one technique is called as the open loop control, and second one is the closed loop control. So these are the basically in concern with the control system technique of your DC motor. But basically, as we know that the DC motor will be working on the basic fundamental laws of the Faraday's. Okay, so for the sake of that, according to the construction of your DC motor, there are DC motor which has a different two parts. First one is called as the armature and field. So according to that, there are different speed control methods of your DC motor. So we can control the speed of your DC motor by means of a different technique. So for the understanding of the open loop and closed loop control, first basically we should know what are the different speed control methods which are in concern with your DC motor. So friends, according to the basic equation of the torque speed characteristics of your DC motor, there are different speed control methods of your DC motor. So the first speed control method is called as the armature voltage control. So what do you mean by the armature voltage control? In that particular speed control technique, we are controlling the speed of your motor that is below the rated speed. So such type of technique is called as the armature voltage. So in armature voltage control, we are just inserting one of the resistance in concern with your armature circuit, and by the varying of that particular armature resistance, we can control the speed of your motor. So such type of speed control method is called as the armature voltage control. So sometimes this speed control method is called as the resistance control as well. So this will be the first speed control technique in concern with your DC motor. Okay. Then after that, one of the important speed control technique that is called as the field flux speed control technique. So what do you mean by the field flux speed control technique? I can tell you. Suppose we are having DC supply to your motor, and we are taking field circuit, because as we know that the DC motor will be having a armature circuit. This is called as a armature circuit. The current flowing through that particular circuit is called as armature current. This will be the field flux. Okay, so this is called as field excitation, that is field current IF. This is F1, this is F2, these are the field terminals. This is A1 and A2, these are the armature terminals. So in the second speed control technique, we are varying the value of the field flux, means by the changing of the current or by the changing of the flux value, we can control the value of your field flux. And when we are controlling the value of the field flux, obviously depending upon the field flux value, the speed of your motor, that is called as the DC motor speed, will be the control. So this will be the speed control method, that is second speed control method. And these speed control methods we are using for the speed control above the base speed. What do you mean by below the base speed and above the base speed? Suppose friends, one of the motor that we are having the rating of the 1500 rpm, and if you want to control a speed of that particular motor that is below 1500 rpm, so we can prefer such type of speed control technique. This is called as armature voltage. And if you want to speed control of that particular motor above the base speed, that is above the 1500 rpm, that time we are preferring the speed control, that is field flux. So this will be the first technique and this will be the second technique. Okay, so this is called as a speed control techniques, that is called as armature voltage and field flux control. Okay, so after that, one of the important speed control technique, because in most of the time in an industry you want to speed control sometimes below the rated value and sometimes above the rated value. So that type of speed control will be done with the help of Ward-Leonard speed control technique. Ward-Leonard, it is the name of scientist, and that the scientist which has developed one of the speed control technique that will control the speed of your motor, that will be the below the rated speed and above the rated speed. So such a kind of speed control technique is called as the Ward-Leonard, because it will be the third technique which will be do speed control below base speed as well as above base speed. Okay, so this will be the speed control technique of your DC motor. So if you know the basic fundamental thing of this speed control technique of your DC motor, now we can apply a different control system to that particular methods of your speed control of your DC motor. So let's friends, we will start the first method. That the first method is called as the open loop control of drive, because we are having, there are two types of control system. First one is called as open loop control system and second one is called as closed loop control system. But before we going to start that particular, you should know what are the different basic speed control technique of that particular DC drives. Okay, so if you know the basic speed control technique of your DC drive, then you can apply the control system to that particular motor. Okay, so now we are detailedly study about what do you mean by open loop control of your DC drive. So friends, basically in this type of control system in which output has no influence or effect on the control action of the input signal, this is called as a open loop system. Friends, very simple definition is there. Open loop control system means what? In open loop control system, the output of your system has no influence or effect on the controlling action of your input signal. Means the output is totally independent on your input. Means the input is different and output is different. Okay, so in concern with the open loop system, this will be called as input signal that will be given to your system. Then the second block is very important. This is called as a controller block that we are using here. Then the third block, which is called as control process, we can take one of the example for your understanding. And after that, there is a next part of your open loop system. So this is called as a output. So friends, in concern with the open loop control system that we are having, the basic concept that we can understand, the output has no influence or effect on, the output has no effect on that particular input. Okay, so this system is called as a open loop system. So friends, in day-to-day life, this is called as the manual operation of your drive. So we can take one of the examples, so that the day-to-day life example, this is called as a washing machine. It should be basically operated as open loop control of your system. Then the second example is called as a traffic control. Okay, because in concern with the traffic control and washing machine, we are using, or in that particular washing machine and traffic control system, the output of your washing machine has no influence or effect on the control signal of your input, because in washing machine just we can set the speed of your washing machine, or we can say the temperature of your washing machine, and now we can start the button, and after getting that particular value of your temperature and speed, your washing machine will be automatically stop. Okay, or we can stop this machine. So after that, the output of your washing machines has no any influence on your input. So such type of systems are called as the open loop control system. So the second best example is called as traffic control system, because in the traffic control system we are having a different lights, that is a red light for the stopping, green light go, and yellow light for your waiting signal. So in that particular traffic control system we are using the open loop control system, because in that particular system the output has no influence on the effect of the input. Okay, so that's why this will be the example of your open loop control system. Friends, but the AC connection with your DC drive, now we can understand what will be the open loop control system strategy of your DC motor. So for the understanding of that, first of all we should know what are the different features of the open loop control system, because open loop control system will provide you some of the features. So the first feature for your open loop control system is that this is called as open loop systems are very simple and design, and very easy to design. This will be the first feature of your open loop control system, because open loop control system is very simple, and basically the design of such a system is again very simple. So this will be the first feature of your open loop control system. Then the second feature of your open loop control system is these are cheaper in cost and other types of system. Basically the open loop control systems are very cheap in concern with the other type of system. So the other type systems are such costly, because in open loop control system we are not using the additional equipment, so that's why the cost of such a open loop control system is very cheap. Okay, so the third feature of your open loop control system is called as a maintenance of open loop control system is very simple, because in open loop control system there is no additional devices are there, so the maintenance is very simple in concern with your open loop control system. And after that, basically the open loop control systems are stable for the some extent of time, because the stability of the open loop control system is basically more, because up to the some time of extent the stability or the stable system will be called as the open loop control system. So these are the some of the features of your open loop system. Now friends, we can apply this open loop control system over drive. Okay, and that is the called as the DC drive. Okay, so for the understanding of the open loop control of DC drive, now we are taking the example of your electrical engineering, and that the example is called as a open loop control of DC drive. Okay, because previously we have understood the day-to-day life examples such called as washing machine and traffic light control, but now we are applying such open loop control technique over drive, and such drives are called as a DC drive. Okay, so friends, basically the DC motor controller as shown in figure. Okay, so this DC motor controller is showing in a figure. As shown in figure, friends, there are first block which is called as the DC voltage block. Okay, then the second block which is called as armature voltage speed control technique, because earlier we have discussed there are different speed control methods of your DC drive. So we have taken one of the method for the speed control, and this speed control method is called as armature voltage control. And on that particular armature voltage control, we can control the speed of your DC motor. So this will be the simple strategy for the open loop speed control technique of your DC drive. So friends, what will happen in concern with open loop control? Friends, we are having a DC voltage, means in industry we are, or in practical session that we can understand, we are having the DC voltage technique, that is we are having DC voltage supply, we call it as VDC. Okay, so after that we can using the armature voltage control technique. So what will happen in armature voltage control? Friends, in armature voltage control we are inserting one of the resistance in the armature circuit of your DC motor. So this will be the armature circuit of your DC motor. Okay, so this will be the armature circuit of your DC motor. This is called as armature. These are the terminal of your armature, A1 and A2. These are the carbon brushes. Okay, so in, and this will be the current which will be flowing from your armature circuit. So while we are changing the value of the resistance in that particular circuit, this is called as the armature resistance, we can change the value of your current. So according to the Ohm's law, the current flowing through the circuit is directly proportional to your voltage, means if you are changing the value of the current, obviously your value of your voltage will be changed, and if the value of the voltage will be changed, so obviously the speed of your DC drive will be changed. So the speed of your DC drive will be the change. So by means of that, while we are changing the value of the resistance, we can control the value of the current. If the current change, voltage change, your speed of your basically DC motor will change. So this strategy is called as a armature voltage control. Okay, and same strategy we are applying here. So this will be the DC voltage, the armature voltage control technique is there. So this will be the armature voltage control technique, and this will be your DC motor. So this will be the representation in concern with the block diagram, and this will be the actual representation of your system. So this is called as the open loop control system. So in open loop control system, we are controlling such action manually, means by the switching of your DC drive, means manually we can on and off the supply, and depending upon the on and off supply or by the regulation of the value of your resistance value manually, we can control the speed of your DC drive. So such technique is called as the open loop control of your DC drive, because in that particular thing we cannot take any of the output of your DC motor in concern with your input circuit. Okay, so this is called as the open loop control of your DC drive. Okay, so friends, let's we can find out the various transfer function of your open loop control system of your DC drive. So for sake of that, first of all, we can understand what do we mean by the transfer function, because earlier we have defined what will be the action of your open loop control of your DC drive. So we are doing this is manually. That will be the speed control of your DC drive manually. But what do you mean by the transfer function? So the transfer function is basically mathematical relationship between the system input and its output. And friend, in the transfer function is what? Transfer function, in transfer function we are getting the mathematical relationship. So what mathematical relationship between what? In this particular diagram, we are giving the input signal, that is we are giving the input signal, and we are giving the input signal to your system, and we are getting the output signal, that will be the speed of your motor. So in transfer function we can get the mathematical relationship between that particular input and output. So such arrangement or the mathematical relationship is called as a transfer function of your system. So friends, in transfer function we have getting one of the important term, this is called as gain, and gain is called as output divided by input. So this will be the very important thing in concern with the transfer function of your open loop system. So in transfer function of your open loop system, what we are studying, it will be the mathematical relationship between the input and the output, and gain is called as the output divided by input. Again I can write, because this will be the very important thing, because gain is very important in concern with the transfer function. So this is the output divided by input. This is called as gain of your system. Okay, so friends, in that particular system we can understand the output is always a transfer function of the input signal, because the gain it will shows that the output which will be getting for your motor, that will be the transfer function of your input. Okay, so this is called as the gain system. Okay friends, now we can understand the same concept with the help of the transfer function methodology, that is called as block reduction, or we call it as the block system. Okay, that will the mathematical representation with the help of different block techniques. So we are applying the first input signal, this is called as theta s. So it is called as input reference that we are giving to your system. G1 is called as the first gain of your block, that is a transferred gain. We call it as the forward gain. Okay, so what do you mean by the G1s? So G1s will having the input that is theta 1s and the output that is theta 1. So the gain of such system we can write it as, we can get the gain of such a system is called as, that is theta 1 divided by theta is. Okay, so this will be the gain of the this first block. Similarly, we can get the gain of the second block in terms of your S plane. We are getting the value in terms of S plane. We call it as a complex variable. So the second gain of the second system, that is G2S, is equal to the output of such system is theta 2. The input is theta 1. Okay. So this will be the gain of this system. Similarly, we can get the gain of the third system, that is G3S, is equal to the output of this system is called as theta S divided by theta 2. Okay, this is called as the different gain of your open loop system. So friends, in open loop system we are not considering any feedback loop. So this is called as a open loop transfer function of your system, and after that we are getting the output response from that particular input reference. So friends, now we can model out the mathematical relationship. This is called as a transfer function. So we can take, first of all, this is G1s. What do you mean by theta or theta s? Okay, this is called as input reference. G1s is the gain of first block, gain first. It is gain second in terms of your S plane. It is gain third in terms of S plane. So that's why it will be represented by S. And theta 0s, it is called as the output response of your system. Output response. So friends, according to the basic fundamental definition of gain, that is gain is called as the output divided by input. So now we can consider the first case. Now we can consider the first case. What will be the gain of the first system? So we can write what will be the gain of the first system. So the gain of the first system I can write here, that is gain of the first system is what the output of such system is called as, that is theta 1, and divided by input, that is theta I. So this will be the gain of your system. Okay. Similarly, when we are considering the second case, what will be the output of your second system? Okay, this is called as G2s. So G2s is equal to what will be the output? G2s, that is theta 2. This will be the output of the system. Input is theta 1. Now we can take the gain of the system as theta 2 divided by theta 1. Similarly, we are taking the gain of the system, that is third, that is G3s is equal to the output of the system, that is theta 0, and the input, that is theta 2. So this will be the gain of your third system. Okay. So in this way, friends, we have written directly the value of your gain, that is G1 is equal to theta 1 divided by theta I. This is same. This is again same. G2 is equal to theta 2 divided by theta 1, and G3s is equal to theta 0 by theta 2. So these are the different gains of your system. Now we can move forward for your system. So now we can find out the overall transfer function is given by. So overall the transfer function of given by your system is nothing but the gain of the whole system, that is 1, 2, 3, because we want to get the value of the overall gain of this system. So what will be the gain of your, that is the overall gain of this whole system. So if you want to get the overall gain of this system, so similarly we want to multiply G1 into G2 into G3 is equal to what? So similarly concept now we can use here. So now we can multiply, that is G1 into G2 into G3. So we are having the value of G1, that is theta 1 divided by theta I, because theta 1 is called as output, this is called as input. So as we know that gain is equal to output divided by input. Similarly, we are getting the value for G2, that is theta 2 divided by theta 1. This is for your second system. Third system, we are having the value, that is theta 0 divided by theta 2. So friends, now we can cancel out this term, this term. Now we can cancel out this term, this term. So only remaining what will be, that is theta 0 divided by theta I, that is input. Okay. So what will gain? The overall gain of your system, now we are getting what? The input, or we called as the input, and the different blocks, which is called as G1, G2 and G3, and after that we are getting the value of output. So the overall value of your gain is now that will be equal to what? The output, that is theta 0 divided by theta I. It will be getting from the mathematical calculation. So the open loop gain is simply given by the gain total G is equal to what? Theta S in the S plane divided by theta I. So what do you mean by theta S? It is the output signal, and this is called as the input reference. So this will be called as the gain of your open loop control system in concern with your DC drive. Now we are taking the example of the different parameters of DC drive, and we can get what are the different input signal to your DC motor and what are the different output signal of your DC motor. So friends, in this way we have detailed study about the transfer function of your open loop control system. Now we are moving towards next control technique. That the control technique, the name itself indicates, it is a closed loop control system of your DC drive. So the name itself indicates its meaning. What do you mean by the closed loop control system? Because there are different disadvantages of your open loop control system. We are using a closed loop control system. The another name of this closed loop control system of your DC drive is called as a feedback control system, because in concern with the closed loop control system we can consider the effect of the feedback loop. So this is called as the effect of the feedback loop, because in open loop control system the system is look like that, but in concern with your closed loop control system, we are taking the feedback of your output and we are giving this feedback or the sensing signal to your input. So obviously in concern with the closed loop control system, we are getting the influence of the output signal into the input signal. So this is the closing the path. So that's why the such system is called as the closed loop control of your electrical drive. In this type of the control system, the output of the system controls the input applied to the system. Means what? The output of your system means we are having the output that will be called as output. It will control input signal. So such a technique is called as the closed loop control of your DC drive. So this is a basic fundamental understanding of your closed loop control system. Now we can understand what will be the actual concept. So friends, in the closed loop control system, we are basically applying the input to your system. So this point is called as the summing point. We are discussing detail what do you mean by the summing point, what are the different relationship of your summing point. After that, we are getting this signal to your controller. So at that particular summing point, we are getting a different signal. That is, one signal is the input reference, and second that is called as the sensed signal. That will be the feedback signal. So from the input signal and sensed signal, we are getting the error signal, and we are getting that error signal to your controller circuit. So the controller circuit will decide what will be the value of your control parameter, and this is the value of the control parameters. Now it will be given to your process, so that the process will be maybe your different. So according to the error signal, the controller will control its strategy, and that the output will be given to your processor. After the processor, we are getting the output. Okay, so from the output and input, this is called as a processor. From the output, we can sense, this is the feedback loop, or in day-to-day life we are using the different types of sensors for your closed loop control system. So this is called as feedback loop. Feedback means what? We are taking the sensing part of your output, and now we are giving this feedback, these sensing parameters for the comparison of your input. Means friends, in this way, in the closed loop control system, the output of your system will controls the input applied to the system. Means this output will controls the value of the input, that is closely. So that's why such circuit is called as a closed loop control system. And basically the another name of the closed loop control system is called as a feedback loop, because in that particular circuit we are using one of the feedback terminal. Okay, so friends, like we can understand some of the example of the closed loop control system, because we are the electrical engineer, and we can take some of the example of the or the applications of your closed loop system in day-to-day life. So friends, fortunately we are the electrical engineers, and we know that the missile man of our India, it is called as the Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, will be a great control system engineer, and Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam has developed so many missiles, or so many missiles radar system. Okay, so these are the applications with the help of your closed loop control system, because friends, fortunately we are having the Indian people and the technology which will having our ISRO. So depending upon that, we are very great advantages of the control system, and this control system will be developed by our Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam sir. So friends, this will be the one of the example of your closed loop control system. So in that particular closed loop control system, this will be the indication of our missile, which is called as Prithvi. Okay. So for the control strategy of such kind of missile launched and attack radar, so we are using the closed loop control system. So friend, for that particular closed loop control system, we are using the direction of missile is controlled by the comparing target and position of your missile. So in this system, we are preferring the closed loop control system, and the India has a very great power on our control system. So that's why the India has developed so many missiles like Agni, Prithvi. Okay, so this is our strength of India. Okay, so this will be the first example in concern with our control system, that is called as closed loop control system. Then in day to day life, we are using another example in our life. This is called as automatic electric iron. So what will happen in concern with automatic electric iron? So friends, now we are using such kind of iron for our pressing of our different clothes. So in that particular automatically iron, the temperature sensors are there. So while the temperature of your heating iron will be exceed or getting its required value, then your electric iron will automatically stop. So in this way, the sensing of or the sensing part of your temperature is very important. So that's why such control technique will be using, and this control technique is called as the closed loop control system of your electric iron. Similarly, we can take the example of the water level indicator for the using of the closed loop control system. So in water level indicator, we are using the different water level sensor, and depending upon the water level sensor, we can control the level of your water. So this will be the example of your applications of your closed loop system. So friends, these are the day-to-day example of your closed loop control system. Now we can move towards a very important thing, that are what are the different features of your closed loop control system. So friends, as we know that the closed loop system is widely used in a day-to-day life, because closed loop system will take the feedback signal from your system. So the basically first thing or the first feature, it will facilitate the automation, because nowadays we are using the automation in a day-to-day life, or in a we can using the automation in a different industrial field. So for the sake of the automation purpose, we are using such kind of control system, and this is called as a closed loop system. This will be the first thing. Then the second thing, which is called as a closed loop control systems, are more accurate even if the presence of non-linearity, because in concern with open loop control system, the accuracy level of such control system is very less. But in concern with the closed loop control system, friends, the accuracy of such a system is very large. Okay, even the non-linearities are present, but in concern with that, the closed loop system will provide you more accuracy. That will be the first feature. Okay, the bandwidth range is very large in concern with the closed loop control system. So that will be the another feature of your closed loop system. The sensitivity of the systems may be small, but make the system is more stable. Obviously the sensitivity of the system is small, but stability of the closed loop control system will be very large, because of the presence of the feedback element. So that will be the one of the feature of your closed loop system. So after that, we are taking another feature of your closed loop control system, and that the feature of your closed loop control system is called as the this system is basically less affected by noise. So that will be the another advantage of your closed loop, or the feature of your closed loop control system. So friends, after that, we can understand the example of our subject, and that the example that is closed loop speed control technique of your DC drive, because previously we have basically understand the open loop control system of your DC drive. Now we can understand the basic concept of your DC drive by means of the closed loop control system. So what will be the difference in between the open loop control system and closed loop control system? So friends, in closed loop control system, now we are taking one of the very important parameter. This parameter is called as a feedback loop. This is called as feedback loop, because in previously case we are not using such a kind of loop, because this technique is called as open loop previously. But in closed loop control system, now we are taking the basically feedback loop. So this is called as a feedback loop. So this will be the difference in between open loop and closed loop control system. But friends, while we are taking the consideration of this feedback loop, what will be the change? Okay, while we are using the feedback loop for this control technique, we are getting very important thing, means we are getting the reference of the output of your motor in concern with your input. So this, the output of your motor will control the input of your system. So this is called as closed loop control system of our DC drive. So friends, let's we can understand again in detail. First of all, we'll give the input signal. So that will be the input signal. Okay, this will be the input signal that we are giving to your system. So this will be the positive. So this will be the input or reference signal. Okay, so friends, in concern with the open loop control system, this will be the DC voltage. So this DC voltage will be provided by means of the different sources. So this will be the DC voltage. So from the DC voltage, we are controlling again the same technique, that is armature voltage control. But what will be the difference in between the open loop armature voltage control and closed loop armature control system? In the closed loop armature control system, we are controlling, or we are taking the consideration of the sensing of your motor speed. Means friends, we are taking one of the example. If you want to get the atomization of the DC drive, that is the automatic speed control of your DC drive by means of the feedback loop control system, that time we are preferring one of the speed sensor in your circuit. And this speed sensor will senses the speed of your motor. Okay, and if the speed of the motor is okay, म्हणजे at the consideration with the system, then the system will give you that particular signal. Okay, so if there is a change in that particular speed control or the speed signal, then definitely your controller or the armature voltage control will control the speed. So friends, in the sensor, we are using the different types of tachometer here, because tachometer is a device which will senses the speed. Tachometer, which will be the senses what? Speed senses, because as we know that the speed of your DC motor will changing, and the speed of your DC motor changing, this tachometer will senses the speed, and it will give you the reference value of your speed to your summing point, and this summing point will create a error signal to your DC voltage. Friends, for sake of understanding, now we can take one of the example for the closed loop control of your DC drive. Okay, suppose the rated operation of your motor, now it will be the 1500 rpm. Okay, okay, so the rated speed of your DC motor, that will be the 1500 rpm. But due to some of the changes in the motor value, now the speed is reduced to 1400 rpm. Friends, now we are taking example. The first rated operation is 1500 rpm, but due to some of the internal problem, the speed of your motor will be reduced to your 1400 rpm. So this speed sensor or the tachometer will senses the speed, because previously at the starting of your motor, when the motor will be start at rated operation, the speed will be the 1500, but due to some of the parameter changes of your DC motor, now the speed value is 1400 rpm. And that the speed will be 1400 rpm will be senses by your tachometer, and this the value of the 1400 tachometer speed will be given to your summing point. So this will be the input speed of your motor that we are giving, basically 1500. The sensing speed, now it will be the 1400. This will be the summing point, which is called as the comparator, or this will be the comparator. On comparator, what will do, that will compare the signal. This will be the positive, this will be the negative. So the 1500 minus 1400, it will give you the error signal of 100 rpm. So means this atomization will create a error signal of that particular speed. Error signal of your speed is the reference speed is 1500, the sense speed is 1400. So the reference speed is, that is del omega, and that the reference speed is 100. So that the 100 rpm speed will be given to your DC voltage. So depending upon this 100 rpm armature current, this 100 rpm armature current will be given to your armature voltage control technique. So what will happen in an armature voltage control technique. In armature voltage control technique, now we are using the different devices. This is power electronic devices. From the time we are using the microprocessor or microcontroller. So this the armature voltage control technique, or the controller circuit will senses the value of the reference or the value of the error speed, that is the error speed, which will be sensed by your controller. And this controller means this will be the called as a armature voltage controller will changes its speed, that is reference or the error speed is 100 rpm, and we want to get the speed that is 1500, means this controller will add the 100 rpm of your speed into that particular technique, and now the motor will be operated again on your its rated speed. What will be the rated speed? Again, that is 1500. Means in that particular process, according to the feedback signal of your DC motor, we can automatically control the speed of your DC motor by means of the controlling action of your controller. And now the rated speed of your motor is 1500. If the rated speed of your motor is reached to 1500, then this sensor will again signal the signal. Now at that particular case, the value of your speed is 1500 rpm. So the reference signal at that particular time is 0. So the controller will not adding its speed, and the speed of your motor will be reaching again, that is 1500. So depending upon the feedback signal of your DC motor drive, this closed loop control system will control speed of your motor, and this is called as the closed loop control strategy, or we called it as the feedback control strategy of your DC drive. So this is called as a feedback control strategy of your DC drive. So friends, let's we can formulate again the transfer function of your closed loop control system. We can get what do you mean by the transfer function. So friends, we are having what do you mean by the transfer function. The transfer function is called as a mathematical relationship between the system's input and output. So what do you mean by the transfer function? Transfer function is called as a mathematical relationship. But mathematical relationship between what? The mathematical relationship between output and input, and this will be represented by in transfer function gain. Gain is called as output divided by input of your system. So this will be the representation of gain. So friends, in a closed loop control system, there are different summing points are there. That summing points we are using at the starting of your closed loop control system. This is called as a summing point. So in summing point, we are using there are two types of summing points are there. So what is the difference in between that particular points we can understand. Suppose this will be the first summing point, in which we are getting the value that is positive. Positive means this will be the input signal, this will be the sensed signal. If the input signals and sensed signals are both positive, then this summing point is called as a summer. So we are getting the output that is C is equal to A plus B, because it will adding both signals, that is plus and plus. So this will be adding the input reference, and this will be the input reference, and this is a feedback reference, or this will feedback element A and B. So such kind of summing points are called as the summer. Okay, and the second summing point, which is called as here, in which we are getting the input signal that is A, that is positive, and your feedback signal, or that is error signal B, will be the negative. So we are getting the output that is C is equal to A minus B, and such a summing point is called as a comparator or comparator, and we are getting the output from that such kind of comparator, that is called as A minus B, that we had getting previously. So it will be the positive negative, so 1500 minus 1400, so it will give you the comparison of value, and this is called as a error signal, and this error signal is called as C. This will be the error signal, okay, of your speed. So these are the two different types of your summing points. So friends, we can understand the block diagram representation of your closed loop control system. Means this closed loop control of your DC drive will be represented by a block diagram representation. So in that particular block diagram representation, we are applying the input reference. This is called as theta I. Now we called it as the input signal. we are having the summing point. So earlier we have decided it is a comparator, so positive and negative. So it will create a error signal. This is called as theta e. So theta is called as error signal. Then this is called as the controller gain. We call it as gain, that is G. That is the open loop gain of your system, and basically it will be moving in a forward path. So sometimes we call it as a forward gain. This will be the output of your system. So the output of your system is basically represented by the theta 0. And from the output of your system, we are taking a feedback path, or we are taking some of the sensing signal. We call it as H. H is called as the gain of your sensor. Means we are connecting in concern with the speed control. This is a tachometer, and we are giving that particular gain of your sensor to your summing point. So this summing point will compare the value of your signal, that is the input signal, and this is called as a feedback signal, and according to that it will create its error signal. Okay, so friends, this is called as a block diagram representation, and in that particular block diagram where we called it as G is called as the open loop gain of your system, H is called as the gain of the sensor. Okay, then theta is called as input signal, that is input signal is given to your system. Then theta 0 is called as output signal, so this will be the output signal of your system. And theta e is called as the error signal, and this will be the theta e, that will be the error signal of your system. So friends, now we can understand, or we can develop the transfer function of such a system. So for the sake of the understanding of the transfer function of a system, we can understand again this diagram. Okay, so this will be the block representation. So we can derive the transfer function by means of this block representation. So in that particular, the output is equal to G into error. So this output, friends, you have to see very carefully while we are considering the each and every one terminology. So the output, that is output of your system, is equal to what? G into error. So what do you mean by G? So it is a product of G into error. So it will be the product of G into error. So what do you mean by the output? Output is the product of G into error. This is the first thing. Then the second thing is what? The error. The error will be what? The error is basically the input. The input minus H into output. What do you mean by H? It is a feedback gain and output. Basically, H into output will give you here value. So what do you mean by the error? Error is equal to input minus H into output. Okay, so this will be the second transfer function, very important term. Suppose we are taking the value of H is equal to unity, means unity feedback system. What do you mean by the unit feedback system? The value of your output and input will be 1. Then what will happen? The error, this is called as theta e, is equal to input minus output, because we are taking the value of H is equal to 1. So obviously the what will be the value of the error? The value of the error is basically input minus output. The value of your error is input minus output, because we are taking the all value of this term is unity, means 1. So the error value is input minus output. So this will be the important thing. Now we are eliminating the error term. Now if we are eliminating the value of the error, then what will happen? The output of the system, now I can erase all the things, and we can understanding the term. The output of your system, the output of your system is called as G. G is called as a forward path gain into input minus H into output. If we are removing the value of the error, if we are removing the value of error, what do we mean by the output? It is G into input minus H into output. So this will be the very, very important thing. So friends, now we can multiply this term, that is G into input, or we can simply solving this equation, G into input is equal to basically the output plus G into H into output. Okay, simply we can form this signal by eliminating the error term. Now we can get a very important equation of closed loop transfer function, and that the closed loop transfer functions will give you the value. Means we are just rearranging term, that will be called as output. We are taking here, input taking we are here. We are taking that is called as a common terms as G, and we are getting 1 plus GH. That will be the divided by term. Okay, so we are getting the important term. This is called as output divided by input. And what do you mean by the output divided by input? That is the value of the output is called as theta 0 divided by theta I is equal to the value of G is called as the forward path gain divided by 1 plus GH. What do you mean by G into H? G is called as the gain of your forward path. H is called as the gain of your feedback path. So we can getting the closed loop transfer function, and this is a closed loop transfer function which obtains as a theta 0 by theta I is equal to G divided by 1 plus GH. So friends, now we can take the value, whether the value of this transfer function is positive, whether the value of this transfer function is negative. So on which parameter we can get the value of the transfer function is positive, and on which parameter we are getting the value of the transfer function is negative. So friends, we are having this output equation of your signal, or we call it as a transfer function. So if we are using the negative feedback, means the value of the feedback is negative. Okay, so means the change in the speed in that particular feedback signal. So it will showing by the positive sign. So it will be showing by the positive sign. So we are taking the feedback signal is negative. So we are taking the term which is positive sign. If the feedback signal is the positive, if we are taking the feedback signal is positive, then the term transfer function term will be represented by G divided by 1 minus GH. The minus sign will indicate the feedback is positive. Okay, so this will be the second thing. And the third thing is what? When the unity feedback system G is very large. G is very large, so the output divided by input is trends to the value that is unity. This will be the transfer function of your closed loop control system. So friends, now we are taking some of the cases. So what they are cases? The system is at the steady state gain. So the value of G, so what do you mean by the G? It is the open loop gain of your system will be decreases. So the expression of that particular G divided by 1 plus G, that is decreases much more slowly. So this will be the very important consideration or very important parameter of your closed loop transfer function of your system. And depending upon such parameter changing technology, the closed loop systems are used widely in a day-to-day life. So these are basically in concern with your closed loop transfer function of your DC drive. Now we are taking one of the example. This is called as the microprocessor based speed control of your DC drive. So the name itself indicates now we are controlling the speed of your DC motor with the help of one of the controller, which is called as microprocessor or microcontroller technique. By the use of these powerful devices, we can control the speed of your motor. So basically the interfacing of the DC motor with the J8051 microcontroller. Okay, so these are the different peripheral IC of your microcontroller, microprocessor. We are using some of the motor driver circuit to control the speed of your motor circuit. This is called as motor driver circuit. From that we can control the speed of your DC motor. So this will be the historical representation of your microcontroller technique for the speed control. So for the interfacing of that particular 805 microcontroller, we are interfacing the different types of servo motors, we are interfacing different types of DC motor, we are interfacing different types of ADC. This is called as the analog to digital converter, because as we know that the speed is the analog quantity, but now we want to convert that the analog quantity into digital quantity by means of the ADC. This is called as analog to digital converter. We are using, or we want to get the display terminal for your checking the value of speed. So that's why we are using the 7-segment display. We are using the LCD screen for the viewing of the each and every parameter of your electrical drive, and we are using some of the matrix keypad for the writing out the different programming of your 8051 microcontroller. So this is called as a microprocessor based speed control strategy of your DC motor. Now we can understand this speed control strategy, which is called as microprocessor based speed control technique, by means of the detailed diagram. This should be called as a detailed understanding diagram of the microprocessor based speed control. So friends, in that particular technique, we want to control the speed of your DC motor by means of the controller. Controller is called as a microcontroller or the microprocessor. So friends, as shown in figure, this will be the 8051 is the diagram of the microprocessor or microcontroller. And we want to control the speed of your motor. This will be your motor. This will be your motor. That will be the DC motor. Now we want to control the speed of this motor by means of your microprocessor. This is the 8051. These are the different ports of your microprocessor we are using for the speed controlling technique. There are different ports: port A, port B, port C, port D, port 0. For sake of that, we are giving some of the signal, that is the input signal to your microprocessor. First signal is up, second signal is down, means we want to control the value of such microcontroller signal. So first, we can understand the starting from the simple thing. So first thing, we are taking the transformer. What will be the function of your transformer? So the transformer will be your step down transformer. Okay. So basically we are having that is 230 volt AC supply. So basically that the 230 volt AC supply will be now converted into 15 or 12 volt supply, that is AC, by means of the step down transformer. So this step down transformer will step down the voltage level up to the 15 or basically 110 volt. So this will be bridge rectifier. So what is the function of your bridge rectifier? So the function of bridge rectifier is that it will convert that the AC supply into DC supply, because we want to control the speed of your DC motor. So that's why we will require the DC supply. So for sake of that, we are using the bridge rectifier, which will convert the alternating current supply into DC supply. So this DC supply now we are giving to your regulator circuit. So friends, as shown in figure, this is called as a bridge rectifier. So what do the function of your bridge rectifier? So the input signal which will be the getting from your transformer, that will be the converted into a DC current supply, or that will be the convert that the AC voltage into DC voltage by means of this bridge rectifier. So after the bridge rectifier, there will be the device which is called as a regulator. So what will be the function of your regulator? Regulator will regulate the voltage, because now the 110 volt supply, that will be regulated from depending on our requirement, that is the 12 volt supply. So by the means of that particular regulator circuit, we can regulate the supply of your voltage, because sometime if you will require the 5 volt supply to other types of microprocessor, so we are giving the 5 volt supply to required your microprocessor, or sometime we will give you the 12 volt supply by means of that particular regulator circuit to your microprocessor. Okay, so we are giving the 5 volt supply to your microprocessor, that is 8051, and we are giving the 12 volt supply required for your motor driver circuit. So friends, from that particular regulator circuit, we are giving the supply to microprocessor as well and motor driver circuit. So this is the motor driver circuit. So in motor driver circuit, we can control the speed of your motor by means of the different speed control techniques of your motor. So this is called as motor driver circuit. Practically, we are in motor driver circuit, we are basically preferring the various speed control techniques such called as armature voltage, field flux, or the wide Leonard speed control technique. So we are giving the power signal to that particular device because it is a digital device. So for the sake of the digital device, we are giving the DC voltage to that particular system. Okay, friends. So from the motor driver circuit, there are different terminals which are connected to your motor for the controlling of your speed of your motor. So friends, in that particular microprocessor, we are using programming device which is called as ASM/C program device, because we want to programming the microprocessor or the microcontroller for the changing of your signal, and this will be the various the input signal which will be value in concern with the incremental value or down value, that is a decremental value in concern with your microprocessor. So these are the input signals which are given to your microprocessor. So what will be the function of your microprocessor? Microprocessor will compare the signals by the means of this motor driver circuit, because motor driver circuit senses the speed and that will be given to your microcontroller will compare the signal, and according to the value of the comparing signal, this microprocessor will controls whether the value of your speed is up or whether the value of the speed is down. So depending upon that particular requirement, this microprocessor will send the signal to your motor driver circuit, and this motor driver circuit now will control the speed of your DC motor. So this motor driver will control the speed of your DC motor. In this way, friends, we are taking microprocessor based speed control technique of your DC drive. So friends, in this way, we have detailedly study about how the speed control of your DC drive will be takes place, or the closed loop speed control technique, or the open loop speed control technique. Now we can prefer for your industrial use, that is closed loop speed control technique, because in closed loop speed control technique the feedback loop is present, and due to that the sensitivity, the accuracy of your system will be improved. And we have detailedly study about the microprocessor based speed control strategy of your DC drive. Thank you.